Hello and welcome to episode 58 of our Timberborn Update 5 Waterbeaver playthrough here in cycle 76, day 3. Last time, we marched ever slowly forward along the path to progress, and I'm going to have to pause just so I can move the camera. But we have now 2 additional high-temperature foundries under construction. We are currently waiting for another Masters of Metallurgy. The only degrees we have left now are our PhD in Physics and the 2 of the Agronomy degrees. We're probably going to use those pretty soon. But I do have 2 of these buildings under construction. The ENS should be at some stage of acquiring materials. Yep, looks like they just need the brain-boosting salts. And then they can do the research for the second Masters of Metallurgy to give us 3... Oh, the frame drop. 3 of these things. And that's good and exciting. We also got this little stack, or I guess this pair of stacks of these platforms with our multi-purpose outdoor workspaces taken care of. Which is good because now we're able to remove all of our primitive ironworks. Those are all gone, as well as the log gnawing stations. I'm pretty sure I got rid of all of those. And yeah, so that was a great thing for us to take care of. But there's still plenty more that can be done, and specifically with this area, again, forgive me for the game still being paused so we can actually look at stuff. I think what we're going to want to go ahead and do, and we'll place this right now since we're already here, is put another couple of mega platforms on top of this, as soon as I can get the angle right here to actually place them. Yeah, put one there, and then, as you guys like to remind me, there's a bunch of other stuff that can fit on these platforms. Like, for a specific example, we have the bot standby area. Fits perfectly, right like so. The only issue is going to be getting inside of it because of how we have our ladders and stuff set up. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I do think we need to build another one of these sooner or later because, you know, we only have 9 empty slots. So I'm going to go ahead and place that thing there. And then another thing that can fit there, like we've said before, exercise plaza. Very, very easy thing for us to go ahead and just take care of here. So I think, actually, given how this is looking here, you know, it's interesting that the entrance is right there, but it still has these 2 little stairway things. Well, regardless, it's going to be fine just to put those in like that. We'll let them take care of that, unpause, and go about our business. But, as always, there's still plenty of stuff that you guys suggest in the comments, and while I cannot get to everybody's, I do want to try and do as much as we can that I think is going to enhance what we're working on. So, since we are in this general area, I'm going to go ahead and get another storage pile, Gigargantuan, whatever you want to pronounce that, and we're going to set this guy for dirt. Because you guys reminded me that the dirt in this is 1,000 pieces of dirt for one, I always forget what this is called, terrain block, yeah. So it would be smart for us to have a huge quantity of available storage for dirt. Because right now we have 1,000, and yeah, that's only because we had a couple of those, I guess, large piles that hold 200, or maybe one of them holds 472. I don't actually remember. No, they hold 180. Okay, so we had like 4 of those. Anyway, point being, we have, or we're going to have an opportunity to really free up these guys, these giant drills, if we just have more space for them to put stuff, you know? Because right now, you take a look at this guy. It's completely slammed full of dirt, and, you know, it's not going to do anything unless it has somewhere to put the stuff. So we'll let that be its own thing, cross that off the list. And yeah, there's just so much to do. I literally cannot possibly get to all of it, but one of the more intriguing things, and a number of you suggested this, was to go ahead and remove these paths and replace them with ladders and then some bridges going between sets of ladders, and that way we can reclaim a whole lot of land for farming, specifically for the benefit of pumpkins up here. Well, this is actually a pretty well-organized area, but right here, for example, this is honestly kind of a mess, and I think we owe it to ourselves to kind of reorganize, especially this path right here. We can very easily just completely overhaul that. In fact, I'm thinking it would probably be to our benefit to go ahead and unplant everything up here. Let them harvest these pumpkins. And then, because, like, we have 30,000 food. We're not hurting for food. We're going to be totally fine. We'll just unplant this, get a completely clean slate, and just move on with our lives. So, the large farmhouse also had a couple people, or at least one person, say, hey, why don't you just put this on a platform? Well, unfortunately, this is one of those buildings that must be built on the ground. As far as I know, unless it's on a pit and ladder lodge, which we can see right here. But we can, however, take a... where's the... Okay, yeah, it does have a watertight upgrade. If we wanted to put it underwater or in a place that would become underwater, all we have to do is just build this kind of cage thing around it. And we do have the ability to do it. We just don't have enough glass at this exact moment in time. But again, that's one of the reasons why we're building the additional high temperature foundries. So, for example, this would probably be a decent candidate to go underwater here. But the only possible way we could do that would be if we had a drought and we had the materials to construct this and a waterproofing during the drought. Because I'm 90% sure you have to have it dry when you install the watertight upgrade to it, or else, you know, it's just going to be flooded forever. Or at least until it takes to evaporate all that water. So that's definitely something to think about. We could, if we really, really, really wanted to be anal retentive about stuff, we could probably place this guy here and then try to min-max, or I guess technically it would be like right here, and try to min-max all of our space for planting stuff. But that also comes at the additional cost of having to put down more irrigation lodges, because these guys repel contamination, but they cannot go across gaps, obviously. So again, stuff to think about. We'll have to come back at some point today and replant the pumpkins, refloat all this other stuff, and move on with our lives that way. So let's prepare for that. I think in this specific case, I'm probably going to be able to just put in these suspension bridges. We're going to have to take those trees out, I know. But I could put in just to go right across here and not have that big of a problem. Yeah, probably the easiest thing for us to do here is just going to be to... oh, this is so slow. There we go. Come on, click, please. Thank you. The only bad thing about playing this mod is that it becomes an absolute slog for your computer after a certain point in time. But, you know, there's not really any way to prevent that except doing districts, which are arguably worse than the annoyance of having to figure all this stuff out. So, make sure these are marked. That should be good to go. Leave that as it is. And continue taking a look at how everything else is going. Our brain-boosting salts, of course, all going into the ENS for the benefit of the Masters of Metallurgy, which is now 5% complete. So that's exciting. We should have... oh, this lag. Jeez. We should have probably pretty much everything else done here. Yeah, it's this second one is missing some materials, but for the most part, the stuff is here. This one, not so much. But again, it's all coming, just takes time. And you'll notice that these are still under construction. They probably will be for a while because, spoiler alert, metal blocks are and remain a problem. I wonder where they're going. Hint, hint, it's these two buildings using 100 apiece, so it's definitely gonna take some time. Other things we need to keep our eye on, building additional clockwork hydroponic everblossom farms is going to pretty much be a requirement if we want to take all of this land back, which we probably are fine to go ahead and, you know, not replant these trees, but we're still doing a lot of building, so I don't think we want to go completely cold turkey on that just quite yet. The other way we can massively help stuff is organizing paths, and that's one of those things that is just going to come with the rebuilding of all this stuff that I'm going to be attempting to do. See, like right here, this path setup is just so complicated because, you know, I shoehorned everything in as we were working on... wow, this is I gotta pause this again. I shoehorned all of this in because I literally had to. I had really no way of moving stuff around. But see, like right here, I can have this path just go completely straight through all this. And we'll be in a much better place for organization. See, like right here, this little complicated path a bit. No, I don't want to click on the bots. Get that out of there. Come on, let me click. Thank you, come on. Alright. And like these things right here, these cooking tents, they are important, but they don't have to be right there. We can very easily relocate these two with the addition of a... are these doubles or just... they're just regular platforms? Okay. We can easily just put one platform here. And then as soon as I remember... yeah, there we go. Cooking tent. Cooking tent. This one is making the braised cabbage. This one's making the pumpkin chips. So again... we can be a lot smarter with how we have stuff laid out. That's just the easiest way to do it. So what I will go ahead and do here, braised cabbage, pumpkin chips, just because that's what we're already making. And these two here, pumpkin chips and the rice balls. So easy thing for us to do. First of all, check our depth. Yeah, because I blasted that out. I didn't really need to do that, but you know, it is what it is. Put these two here. Just rebuild... can I flip this? Yes. Oh no, I forgot it's a bridge. Well, that wouldn't be the first time I've done that. So... this doesn't actually have to be a bridge. I just thought it would be fun, so, bye-bye. And this is too deep. Yeah, you know what, we'll just... we have not a huge amount of scaffoldings, but I think we're going to be just fine. We will be okay. So now that gets a path there, and then I can once again put in a cooking tent, and we'll leave that right like so. This one, I think, was going to be set to pumpkin chips. I'll set this one to rice balls, and then this one over to pumpkin chips. And of course, we have all of our little storages here for liquids. Spicy sodas, I just put this here because I needed somewhere to put it. This doesn't have to be here. Lotus flower tea, again, I needed somewhere to put it. Doesn't have to be here, but there's also no compelling reason to get rid of it right now, except to free up more space for growing stuff. Not necessarily pumpkins, because remember, we do have the tree nursery here, and we do need to be growing additional grapes. But on that subject, we have all this space over here that I've been trying to grow grapes, but they haven't been able to get these domesticated brambles out of the way. So, you know, it's, yeah. I don't even need to say it. But, yeah, it's just little stuff like this that we can work diligently toward improving, fixing little tiny problems. See, like, as soon as I can get rid of these cooking is, honestly, we have so much food, I'm just going to delete them. And that's just going to be what happens. We don't need to be dancing around trying to make excuses for ourselves anymore. This gather flag, these berries are going to go away. So this gather flag can also go away. There's nothing in this anyway. Little tiny mountain salt storage? No, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. This is making chestnut beer. But it doesn't have to be there. Because, remember, this takes chestnut flour. We can actually relocate that to be over in this general area because we have power over here. So I could put that grist mill. It doesn't have to be all the way up here, wherever it is. Which building is that? This guy right here? Yeah, see, this, I mean, at this point, it might actually be load-bearing because, oh yeah, it's got a storage for robot parts on top of it. But, you know, we don't have to be married to it. We can remove it, clear up some space up here, and just make stuff a little bit better organized. So, I'm kind of hoping that that could be a little bit of what we do today, just to try and, you know, fix stuff. I have to remember, okay, gristmill is here. The power input is on the top. It is a levee, which means we can put it down in the water, as long as we don't cause any problems with our water flow or anything, which unfortunately is kind of how that goes. This rudimentary sawmill, honestly, I think it can go away because we have the giant advanced one. If we can keep it fed and unclogged, will be more than enough. So I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision to get rid of this. We got some floating beavers here. There we go. Again, I'm paused because I literally can't do anything otherwise. Just please understand that. Gristmill, again, you can't flip buildings in this mod and have it actually work, so let's make sure our doorway is on the bottom. That's fine. We can just have this come in right here. Get rid of the wooden stairs. And then since we can walk underneath this, all I've got to do, unhook these. You know, there's no reason to get rid of this universal shaft in case we want to put something else on top. So I'll just leave it in place. But this one is going to have to be a T intersection now. We'll take care of that. The gristmill set to chestnut flour. And now we have all the space next door. We have these crude saw blades that no longer have to be in this small pile. And instead, let's see if there's anything else that's going to have to go in here. Check our recipes. So yeah, it's going to take some gears, but gears don't go on the piles. So this is going to... Oh, I'm going to absolutely trigger some of you. But I'm just going to get rid of it, and they can pick up the stuff off the ground. These crude saw blades, again, paper mill does not use those, so we don't need to have these over here at all. We can massively, massively simplify what we're doing. This Handicrafter's Lodge, we have 9 balloons. I'm just going to say, you know what? Bye-bye to the Crafter's Lodge. Handicrafter's Lodge. So, all these crude saw blades, we're just going to dump them on the ground so beavers can trip on them and, you know, all that. Logs and planks no longer need to be here. Just get that completely out of the way. Get this as soon as I can hit the correct buttons on my keyboard while not looking at anything. Always a challenge. We get this hooked up like so. And instead, since we're working with chestnuts, and, you know, the chestnuts are right here. We got them harvested in this harvester's office. Would be smart for us to have... lag. On a paused game. That's bad. I'm going to unlock, since I have so much science, this long, tiny warehouse I probably should have unlocked 1 billion years ago. I can't put it here, but we have the ability right here to make good use of our space, because you know we're not going to be able to do pretty much anything else with it. Let's turn this into chestnuts, which are going to be found right here, and then I have got enough room for another... okay, these have the same capacity, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think I can squeeze one in there, and I cannot. That's fine. But right here at the end, that's a nice little opportunity for storage space. This one can be for gears. Set that to receive. Set this to receive. Obtain, whatever the actual terminology is. And now we've got space over here. If we want to make a big spot for chestnut flour, which honestly, I don't think it's going to be producing it that quickly, but I think it's going to be in our best interest to have a dedicated storage for it. So that is going to go right here, set to supply. And now that we have all this chestnut flour, it's going to have to be turned into chestnut beer, which is where this guy comes into play. It's halfway through a recipe, so I'm not going to delete it yet, but we'll go ahead and build another fermentation house right over here. And that's going to go... it's a cooking house. This is the fermentation house. That guy is going to go... You know what? I guess right here is probably fine. Just put him there. And it's not the most space-efficient use of, well, space. But I think it's going to be fine just to put a plank tank here. Have this for the mediocre chestnut. Oh, it doesn't say mediocre chestnut beer anymore. It just says chestnut beer. All right. Well, sorry about that. That is going to go quite nicely. That is... This one holds 45. That's what we want. Come on. Rotate. So these 3 right here, again, just going to be some storage for chestnut beer. So we have that ready to go. And now we have a little chestnut beer area. All dedicated to the production of that. Should be nice and efficient. Not going to have to worry about haulers at all, except to keep this long, tiny warehouse of chestnuts supplied. So that, hopefully, is going to be a really, really good help. They can still go get these things, right? Yeah. So We have massively, massively organized our production of chestnut beer because that's the most important thing ever, apparently. Spoiler alert, it's not. But it's little stuff like that that's really, really, really going to help out our efficiency and what we're doing over here. Plus, now we're going to have extra space. And this guy right here, this distillery making the endothermic essence, doesn't necessarily have to be in this spot. We can move it at some point later. But now that we're making berries in our multipurpose workspaces, or maybe it's the GMO growing labs? Yeah, okay. 2 hours to make 10 of those. We're going to be totally fine without these on the ground. So I'm going to unpause just so we can, you know, actually make some sort of a progress here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get rid of all of these berry bushes. Just yank that one out right now. So he'll take care of all that. The chestnut beer being made in here. As soon as this gets to 0%, I'm going to tear this building down. And we will have made some very nice improvements. One little step at a time. That's what it's all about. And until I can figure out exactly how many more grapes we need, I'm going to go ahead and say that this area is probably going to be destined for pumpkin production. I think, like, we're still hovering around 100-ish. If I can actually get them to tame this here, I think we might stand a decent chance of having the correct quantity of grapes available. But it's just taming the things is really, really hard. They grow super fast. So let's see, that explosives thing doesn't need to be there. Grape storage. Shoot, we don't have any grapes to storage. See, these brain-stimulating mushrooms really don't have to be in this exact spot either. But for the benefit of, you know, clearing this out, I am going to... I always click the wrong thing. I'm going to put in... Oh, the lag. Come on. 2 more lumberjack flags in this spot because I can, and they'll take care of these things completely. Hopefully we can get these guys to do some work and move on with our lives. But good progress is being made, one little step at a time. I've already got the storages here. I want to make sure this is prioritized by haulers, so that's looking good there. The rest of our storage for chestnuts, we have a huge quantity of chestnut storage, but that was mostly to try and bail out our production here because I thought it was lagging behind. So we'll get that taken care of. We do have this chestnut flour being made, but it doesn't have a dedicated storage until the other one's built. So just keep in mind that's what that's doing. Oh, this was actually had already finished, and I guess we're getting a bonus batch. Yeah, we absolutely have to get rid of this fermentation house before we go too much further. Just let that do what it needs to do, because it works without workers, right? So I'm used to something saying, oh, 2 days. Well, it's actually going to be 3 or 3.5, depending on when the workers are actually in there. But this is just about done. See that 99? There we go. All right. Goodbye. So now we have all this space, and we have the large farmhouse right here that, because of what we're planting over here, we can actually move this and just relocate it slightly. I'm thinking I want to turn this 180 degrees and pop it right here. So I'm going to unplant. Oh, it's going to have to be all of these. But not to worry. Actually, that's the exact wrong place for that to go. I'm just going to unplant all of this, and we will we'll move some stuff around, see what works. I know there's a bunch of garbage on the ground, and some of you are very much not a fan of that, but it's going to be okay. Stuff will get picked up eventually. Now, clay storage. How did I end up with absolutely no clay storage? There's probably a very easy answer to that. That involves me just deleting things randomly. But I think... See, I don't even... Like, what is even going to use clay? Well, it's got to have storage somewhere, so I'm just going to go ahead. It might go against our principles of trying to be neat and tidy, but I'm just going to put a little medium pile here and give it a clay storage spot. Unless I can't put clay in a clay storage. Or clay storage. I always forget what storage buildings take what in this mod, I swear. Well, that's also part of the problem when you have 800 bajillion items in here. You can't possibly keep up with all of it. Alright, Mr. Warehouse. That takes the clay, but it can't go in a pile. Alright, I see you. Put that there. We also probably, if we're going to get rid of these primitive mines, which, again, we should be doing at some point, probably take all of this out. Hey, there's a chestnut tree behind here. Take all of this out and just make this entirely growing stuff. I think it's something we're going to have to discuss at some point. And we have our storage up top here waiting on glass panes, because I don't think this is making them right now. Lag. Yeah, this is currently making the wafers, which we do need. Or ingots, not wafers. I don't know. I don't know why my brain wants to bring up item names from a Minecraft mod from 12 years ago while I'm playing the Beaver game, but here we are. It's the way it goes, I suppose. But in terms of these things, like I've got 9, and I know I have to use them for other stuff. Ingots, whatever these things are called. I'll let them finish this batch, and then I think I'm going to switch it over to glass panes. That should be fine. But since I know this is going to come up if I don't address it, the crude saw blades that are on the ground need somewhere to go. And we might have a storage somewhere else for those, but I think... Take a look at... yeah, these guys consume the crude saw blades, so it just seems like a slam dunk for us to go ahead and just put a little storage here. Oh, do those go in warehouses, or do they go in piles? Ugh, I've got to check again. It looks like they go in piles. So, yes, give me the really, really loud sounds again. That's absolutely what I want to see in here. Doesn't make me irritated at all. Long, tiny pile. Hold on. There we go. And what I can do is I can remove these suspension bridges. They'll help us with our lag as well. I'm just going to, for the best interest of what we're working on here, put our crude saw blades right... Oh, wow, this lag is so terrible. Put this in here so we can have a whole bunch of them ready to go. And not only that, we can utilize this same... I gotta pause the game. I'm sorry. I know it irritates some of you guys when I pause the game so much, but it is almost literally unplayable. I hope you can understand. Get rid of this, get rid of these. I'm just going to keep putting a couple of these piles just so we have some more log storage over here so these guys don't have to go so far. Just make it nice and easy. You're not going to prioritize them or anything. Just make it available. Yeah, so that continues on whatever path it's continuing on. I've got space here. We need to redo this path network too, but I want to maximize the amount of pumpkins. See, now I got 452 pumpkins. Why did that happen? Did we just massively harvest pumpkins, or did I do a stupid here? It could have been a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Now my 6x1 suspension bridges, again, I'm gonna... Okay, I can't put those there yet, but that would reach to there. If I put this here... Ah, not quite. But if I did this, I put that guy there... This guy here, what I can do is I can have this come into the middle with a, yeah, with a little bit of a platform or ladders, depending on how we want to set this up. I know this isn't really going to be farmable space, but I think that might be in our best interest to go ahead and just platform this, connect this way, and then see what we can see. You know what? I just had a thought that I may have been wrong. I want to check something here. I forget I can't stack these in this mod. So if I did double platforms here and these platforms here, like every fiber of my being is telling me that I can't do this. But we're gonna find out real quick if I'm dumb or if I'm dumb. I was wrong. Thoroughly and completely. Yeah, okay, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. So now this has opened up some exciting possibilities here. I can put this guy It's still going to take some land up, but I can put this guy right here. And that, friends, that is really, really going to help us get some space back. And I think, hold on, let's try this before we commit to actually building this here. This set right here would still, yeah, it would get us pretty much all of this that we were already using. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. I would like to apologize to anyone who has ever suggested that I told you were wrong, because I was wrong. Own your mistakes with confidence, friends. It is okay to be wrong as long as you work to fix it. So, well, I guess there's probably circumstances in which that is just aggressively untrue. But for the purposes of a video game, I think we can agree that that's going to be just fine. So that's exciting development, though, because that is going to free up some space. I could... Actually, hold on. I know, driving you guys nuts pausing the game. I could, and I probably should, just put this guy maybe right about here. Well, okay, well, now you're going to make me, think about this. Yeah, this would, minimum land loss, putting it right there. Tall platform. Alright. Bear with me here. We're learning. We're learning. So if I place that and I click on it, you know what? I mean, it's pretty central. It's pretty central, but I feel like I can do slightly better on the placement of that, because I want to take advantage of this space here. If we move this, get that out of here. Build in tall platforms. I got this stupid tree right here, right? That is it's cramping my style. I don't even know if people probably haven't said that in 30 years. I love error messages. See, this guy right here, you move it, you get a little bit more space. But think about how efficiently we could plant pumpkins without a single path in the way here. Because we could route the path just completely around this mess and probably be pretty successful with that. I don't know, maybe I don't need to min-max it this much. If I put it over one more this way, I'm only going to get that, and then I get that. Yeah, but this tree's in the way, and that's really annoying to constantly pick these things out of the ground. Well, you know what? We're going to, at some point, just have to agree that this is how we're going to do things. It's not always going to make the most sense, but it is always going to be a... eventually worthwhile pursuit. Let me just check my range on this. I know I'm driving you guys nuts. I'm sorry. This versus... Oh, it's not going to show me what the range is because I can't actually place the bottom of it down. But I think if I went one over, I got to move this to the side here. That would allow me to do pretty much everything. I'd lose 3 squares, but I couldn't plant one there anyway. So yeah, let's do that. Now, that's not to say we can't put platforms here and then have storage as well, which, honestly, you know what? You know what? Yeah, let's just do that. I know we have tons of storage for pumpkins, but it's really going to be to our benefit to have a storage for supply up here. Again, we're trying to make things more efficient. We're not making much progress in terms of, you know, days passed in game, but we're going to get some good stuff done. Now, where's pumpkins? Why can't I ever find anything in this? I swear. There's pumpkins. Set to supply. Yeah, which means that this right here... I mean, we can still build these, but since I only have so many platforms, I'm not going to spend all my time doing that. I do still want to put in another bridge here, and then see about maximal usage of space. I think, in all honesty, this is probably fine to go in like this. Let's just check our 6x1. Yeah, that'll work. That's going to be what I end up doing. Alright, so that can be left alone for the time being. And I may be able to figure out a slightly better location for the irrigation lodge, but for right now, that's fine. Alright, how are things looking? 32,000 food. I know we haven't planted anything here. We're working on it. We are working on it, addressing different things on our to-do list. It's not all going to be instant, so appreciate your patience on that regard. So this is, yep, storing the crude saw blades. That's good that we got that taken care of. How are we looking on... Okay, of course, this was always going to take a long time because it's waiting on... waiting on planks that I said we didn't need planks that badly. I could demolish the rudimentary sawmill when, in fact, we are struggling for planks. But it's only because we're trying to build so much stuff at once. And this is actually not full of sawdust. It's out of steel saw blades, which... You might ask, why are you out of steel saw blades? Well, there's a little thing called the high temperature foundry that has to make them. And currently, we're only halfway through a 4-day working period, but it's holding up everything else. So I think what's going to happen is we're just going to have to dump this and set this immediately to the steel saw blades. It's that important for us to have those. So... That's looking good. This, of course, is waiting on metal blocks, and it looks like nothing else. This one is waiting on 100 metal blocks and the Masters in Metallurgy, which, again, it's just going to take some time. How are we doing on our research on that? 66%. Good to see that. Somebody left a comment asking if we could have more GMO labs for brambles. If that would help that at all, be a more efficient recipe. So let's take a look at the bramble recipe, shall we? We're actually not using it. We're making mushrooms out of everything. And how many... I have 9,300 mushrooms. Are you serious? Okay, we're going to make brambles. I use those with clay, glowing fluid, and water. Obviously, the glowing fluid... Probably the reason we weren't doing this, honestly, is that the glowing fluid was more important for building platforms. And now I've got 500 of it. It's not that big of a deal. Clay, we might not be producing fast enough to justify making the brambles in this way, but 7 every hour and a half is definitely not bad. We take a look at the recipe in the multipurpose outdoor workspace. You make 1 every 0.13 hours, so this is technically faster. Yeah, this is technically faster, but having the flexibility in the other building is probably a pretty good thing. But yeah, seeing that, the original question was that is the GMO growing lab faster? I genuinely did not know, so we found out together. I'm going to put this back on mushrooms. No hard feelings. This is just a much better recipe. But taking a look at the rest of this, berry-wise, you know what? I should honestly just pull this up. Yeah. The berries is just such a good recipe. 2 hours, 10 berries. And it uses a tiny bit of glowing fluid and a little bit of dirt. This is a good recipe. We probably should be making the berry. Maybe the question was about the berries and not the brambles. I don't know. It's hard to remember things. But the berries in the multipurpose outdoor workspace, 5 water, 2... I see it looks like a VC, and I never think that means sawdust, but whatever. In an hour, you can make 4 berries in the multipurpose outdoor workspace with basically just water. And then in the... what's this thing called? The GMO lab. You can make 10 berries in 2 hours. So per hour, 5 berries in the GMO growing lab. Slightly more expensive recipe versus the multipurpose outdoor space. But it is a whole 25% quicker if you need volume. But because this is a cheaper recipe and the multipurpose outdoor workspace is stackable in a much greater degree, I think we're going to leave it in the multipurpose outdoor work. How many times can I say multipurpose outdoor workspace? Anyway, point being, it is always good to check and see that what you are doing is the right thing to be doing. Never, ever going to be... Well, I'm not going to get mad at the game anyway, unless something stupid happens. But I'm always about learning stuff about the game, and I know some of you get frustrated that I don't immediately do every single thing you posted. Well, that's just what it is. But I do genuinely appreciate when you guys offer ideas or ask questions about things and we have an opportunity to learn. Learning is a fundamental aspect of life, I firmly believe. Metal blocks. That's our Achilles heel right now. I really need them to make these steel saw blades, though. Do I have any steel saw blades, or have we just... That was a really delayed sound effect. Have we just kind of run out of those? Yeah, we're out. Okay, so... Ooh, look at the reflection of the light on the solar panels. That's really cool. We do still need to build more of those, probably, but, like, We have so much power, I don't think it's going to be an issue for a while, but keep that in the back of our mind. This, actually chock full of nuclear fuel. Color me surprised. And there's even a little bit in here for making bots, so that's nice. We haven't finished either of the platforms here because, again, it takes a lot of metal. Metal is expensive to make. It's time-consuming to make. And that's just the way it goes. This is making anvils, which we no longer need to be producing. So I'm going to put this guy back on just regular metal. I've got... You know what? Robotic controllers. I said we needed to make more of these for log growing, but right now it's probably not the biggest priority for us. Okay, I see still saw blades up to 14. That's good. That's going to help these guys continue doing what they're doing. Let us get a little bit more accomplished here. Alright. This, of course, metal blocks going to hold us back on the ladders, which is going to hold us back on this. But I've got 800 something. Why do I have so many pumpkins now? I've unplanted pumpkins, and yet now I have just an absolutely obnoxious quantity of pumpkins. Well, I guess I probably shouldn't be complaining. I remember we're trying to move stuff around here. Cabbage storage, that's just redundant because I'm pretty sure I've got... Or at one point I had cabbage storage over here. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used to. Okay, you know what? We're not even making books. I'm gonna make this cabbage again. So that means this crappy warehouse can go away. Easy. Easy solution. That's for rice, and it's empty. Gone. Delayed sound effects. I love that. Which one of these is making rice balls? This one? Okay. So what that's going to allow me to do is... Is this a ladder? Yes. Which way is the thing facing there? I'm going to take advantage of my storage tower here. And I think... Is this... It's empty? Okay. It's going to save me some metal. I'm just going to put a large warehouse here. I know this is like not an optimal layout. It's super ugly, but hey, it's water beavers. It's supposed to be hard. Rice. I don't know why it's so hard for me to find these different pictures. But that's going to be for rice. Now we've cleared up some more space. We need one for salt, which is going to be... Oh, I'm going to have somewhere to put it. I guess... So I have these side platforms, but I don't have enough scaffolding right now to build any more of those. I do have these architect's lodges that should be making scaffoldings, and they are, but they're waiting on planks. I think I got 3 of these making scaffoldings. I might actually have 4, unless... Oh, hey, look, this is done. So that should be... Well, once it can have... I'm out of gears? Oh, that's because I was so obsessed with making dynamite that I turned all the handicrafters' lodges into just dynamite factories. No, those don't even make gears. What am I doing? Mechanics lodges make gears. These are massive... Ah, it's the planks. It's always the planks. Well, that'll get helped out. I know one of these guys can make... Okay, drill bits. How many drill bits do I... Am I still out of drill bits? It's... Oh, man. It's the metal blocks. Alright, well, I'm just gonna cut that off. And, put the gears in here. Do my drills at least have drill bits? 7, 6, and 7. Alright. That's fine. This guy... Oh, you know what? I don't need these laboratory glasswares. Well, glassware is the plural, and the single, I guess. Glasswares would not be correct, but who cares? Life goes on. I'm going to let this one finish, and then I guess we'll just pop this back to drill bits, because it's supposed to make drill bits. That's why we put it here. Just try to do whatever we can do. You know how it goes. And I still haven't gotten rid of these small mines yet, but that's going to require some planning that I'm not entirely sure what to do with yet. We haven't elevated paths yet, but we will at some point. I've got to check the clearances on the pumpkins, but I think the 2 ladders is going to do it. I just have to be able to have enough metal blocks to make ladders happen, which right now we're super short on. Surprise, surprise. Alright, so let's let this get finished, and then we'll pop that over to drill bits once again. And then, man, it's just everything is bottlenecked everything, and we're just trading different bottlenecks. I guess that's the water beavers experience. When you're me, at least. Alright, so day 14, we got a drought coming in 3 days. See, I've got 48 vacancies, 24 incapacitated beavers. We have hauler bots now. If we have enough hauler bots, I can start decommissioning these hauler towers, which seems kind of insane after we spent so much time trying to get to the point to build those. But we're probably going to have to do it. Hey, this is up and running. This one's making scrap metal, which I guess now is a need. I didn't realize it was that bad. Coal and iron ore we have... Ooh, we actually don't. We've been burning through this stuff really, really quick. I am legitimately surprised. But that's probably because these things were jammed full of dirt. That's almost certainly why that's happening. And I have... This is waiting on glass panes, which I have not been able to make because I had to have this running to make steel saw blades, which it can no longer do. So, methane and quartz for glass panes it is. Got all 20 beavers in here doing high temperature foundry activities. Let them do what they've got to do. Methane is just absolutely streaming out of this thing. I guess they'll fill up the quartz, which, oh, I don't have. Because, I know this irritates so many of you. I just keep flipping back and forth between things here. And fortunately we have tools. But this is just, you know, an hour and a half to get 5 quartz. Does not a successful stocking of the high temperature foundry make. Which means, honestly, we just need to have more medium mines. But where do I put them? They are kind of inconvenient to build. And furthermore, why have I still not cleared all this? Like, I guess I could send the builders in here to do this, but I'd rather harvest the... Okay, 800 of them. Alright, you know what? You know what? We're just going to cut our losses. And just completely get rid of these. Bring all the builders in. And click, please. Thank you. Grapes. Yeah, I gotta plant these grapes, man. We've been waiting so long. I honestly should have done this a long time ago. But, you know, it is what it is. And at the very least, this will help contain what we can't get out until it can just be individually dealt with. So why was this not marked for deletion? I guess I could just go ahead. Get rid of these. Because I thought for sure I'd taken care of that. Well, if this solves our grape problem to a satisfactory degree, then we can just grow pumpkins down by the river. Not in a van. Down by the river. Because you can't grow pumpkins in a van. Maybe you could. Because if you had a good enough hydroponic setup. But that is a sufficiently large diversion from our original plot here. So we're going to go ahead and get back to that. We've got all this space. I really want to be able to get this set up right. Let's kill that large farmhouse. Rotate it 180 degrees. Oh, those planks are probably going to get harvested for something else. Yeah, put that right there. Check our range out. Oh, yeah, that was such a good move. Because now I have all this space. This pathway, I don't think there's any reason for them to be going down here. So I'll tell you what I will do is I will disconnect that. I'll leave the stairs in place just because, like, what am I going to do? This is a wood burner that does not need to be here because we have other ones elsewhere. There's no need to be able to go down to this. So I think what we can do, friends, is come into our demolish buildings tool. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And we missed one, so now we have to click on this again. And now I've got this path here, which I regrettably don't have the metal to handle. But let's check, elevating it. Let's check and see our pumpkin spacing, if this is going to be favorable. We got, pause the game again, 1 here, which would be these 4 squares. 1 here, which would be these 4 squares. 1 here, which would be... ooh. I guess that's not going to let me try to plant it there, but that's fine. What I was trying to make happen, I guess we'll start with... Yeah, we'll start up here, so everything can fit. And that is going to be a little bit of unused space here, but that is going to be, what? Math. 13 of those. And then because of the placement of this, it unfortunately isn't going to let me put anything else there. But that is... It's a decent spot to put stuff. If I do this here... Yeah, that's going to be cut off there, but that's probably fine. Oh, actually, that works out perfect right there. And then this gatherer flag doesn't technically have to be here. Tooth grindstone, that absolutely can go away. So what I will end up doing, I always want to go to the food thing. Gather flag, I'm going to put where that tooth grindstone was. And that, of course, is gathering the bamboo. So if that goes away... Well, it doesn't really have to go away, but might as well, right? This is going to get... You know what? I keep saying you know what a lot, but I think in the grand scheme of things... No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to think of the best possible way to utilize area here. And now we flipped around this way, so this is going down and to the left. So that one will go there, that one will go there. Okay, so, you know, this might not actually be any better than what we had previously, but for what we're working with, I think... Oh, look at that. 4x4. Perfect. Perfecto. That, it helps so much to have the extra space. This news board has a massive area of effect, but it does take up a lot of space on the ground, so if we're going to plant pumpkins... Actually, let's see if we can plant... Oh, okay, so this ignores planting. That's good. Let's check and see what we're working with here, because this has an entrance on this side. It doesn't have to have a door attached to it, especially if there's nothing that has to connect to this side. They have a way to go somewhere else. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this entire path out, and we're going to take a look-see at pumpkin capacity, because look at the... Oh yes, look at this. Glorious. That'll go that way. I'm just going to fill up as much of this as I can. Up this way, up this way, up this way. Oh, yes, please. I feel so vindicated with my my pumpkin placement ideas. Is this gonna... Yeah, that'll work. So, oh, we have massively increased our pumpkin capacity. Sentences said 5 seconds before disaster. What would a pumpkin disaster even be? I don't know. I guess you can be creative in the comments with that idea if you want. But this is a very good start. I know it's not perfect, and there's still a lot we have to do to make this a more efficient area. But if we can make the berries in the building, I'm planting pumpkins. All right. So unpause. That's going to be a really, really important thing for them to take care of. But again, we have 36,000 food. I think we're going to be okay. Wow, we've done so much good stuff today. We were only an hour into this. I know that's a normal episode length, but water beavers are special. If I could just get them to make more metal, I think we'd be in a really good spot. Yeah, waiting on metal blocks there. This is making scrap metal, which I don't have enough coal because I don't have enough space for my dirt. And I don't have enough space for my dirt because I haven't finished this because I need more glass panes. Fortunately, we can actually make the glass panes. It's just waiting on the quartz a little bit more than I would probably prefer. But as soon as this gets built, this big gigantuan storage pile for the dirt, that should unblock our coal and some of our iron production. That's going to be nice. So, an hour into the video, we're going to finally talk about what's on the thumbnail that I haven't made yet, but by the time you watch this, you will know because you've already clicked on it. we have all the way over here in the corner an underground ruins that we need to turn into an abyss. And we are very far away from that. However, I think it still needs to be done. Actually, now that I said it, it's going to be on the thumbnail. I actually don't know. I thought I was going to make it on the thumbnail, and that's when I was, quote-unquote, planning. I don't ever really actually plan, but when I was trying to plan out this episode, I was thinking about, you know what? You know, people keep asking for the second Abyss Exploration Center or whatever, so we should probably do it. But then I remembered we have to be able to get beavers over there, and, you know, connectivity between different parts of the map isn't exactly the best. Especially with how we have this set up. So I've been trying to think about ways to solve that, where a crossover would make sense, because, you know, we do need to do something with this. But we're also going to need to blast this out because the map, while being a custom map for this faction, does not have the correct stuff blasted. I think that was something that was later corrected. This is an early version of the map. But this guy... Wait, actually, no, this one's good. This one's good. I was wrong. But this is going to end up going here. And, yeah, there's no way that I can make this the thumbnail now. Sorry. I lied to you when you knew it wasn't actually true. So I guess that's fine. I lied to myself. Don't lie to yourself. It's going to cause you problems with your self-confidence. But take this nuclear board out of here. We've got to be able to get over here, and we can start the process of doing that. But gonna be a long one. I got to figure out how to get across here without using a bunch of platforms and all that stuff. Because we have these suspension bridges. We also have giant log bridges. But those have to be between supporting structures that we don't have. Now this 6x1 bridge I can take... Oh, it takes metal, I forgot. But that... What's the longest one that doesn't take metal? The 3. Okay, well that's definitely not going to work. To just have it... You know what? You know what? It might actually work. It's going to be super ugly, but it could work. If I... Oh, am I going to do this? Am I actually going to do this? Oh no, you know what? I can't because this is going to be too deep. Going to be too deep. So disregard. Remember, we're learning. We're learning with a purpose. We have... Oh no, this is going to be like Frogger. You know those... I almost said episodes. No, it's a video game. And I think it was Frogger. There was one of those levels that, you know, wasn't the highway crossing one that everybody knows, but there's like these little pillars. It's a platformer game. I could have just said platformer, but we're gonna have to figure out a way to get across to these pillars to get across the whole thing here, because you know, of course, because it's water beavers, they're not the same height. They were never going to be the same height. It's never going to be that easy. We've got to figure out a way to get across here. And I mean, I could just send beavers down into the goop and, you know, poison them, because apparently that's a thing that's allowed. Or if we really want to punish ourselves in terms of, you know, claiming terrain, I could just come across here because that's going to fit just fine. Is that going to be done with a 3x3? Ooh, not quite. I don't have the 4 unlocked. Well, I probably should, but that takes metal, which I don't have. Aggravation. But I need to be able to get across here, even just a tiny bit, which it doesn't seem like it wants me to be able to do with these short things. What a disappointment. I can't really go across there. I mean, the closest I'm going to get is 2 3x1s. I can't stack the platforms. That's always my first instinct, is just stack platforms. Well, you can't do that in the water beavers. It's not allowed. So here's the part where I probably already figured this out, but and I just don't remember. Here's the part where I try something genuinely incredibly stupid and see if it works, and then laugh maniacally. All right, platform, skewer O-ring, platform. Can I? There's quite literally no reason why this should be allowed. But before you get too comfy with that, gotta make sure I can actually connect these. Because, yep, they're different heights. So, all right. New plan. You know, I knew that was going to be too good to be true. Let's, yeah, of course that's not going to work. That's not going to work either. All right, well, my celebration will be short-lived, I suppose. I mean, I'll be able to build this. It's just not going to connect, which is going to be really annoying. And that's, I think, the closest I'm going to get right here. Bridge platform has to go between two different things. Man, if this wasn't a different height, then that would be so much easier. Anyway, so I'm going to make the executive decision right now that we're going to abandon this idea for now because this is acting in the detriment to overall progress, me trying to hyper-focus on that. So if you have a good idea for getting across this mess here to get back to the corner so we can build our second Abyss Tourism Center, let me know down below, because I currently don't really have any ideas that don't involve, you know, beavers going into the nasty. So, we'll just move way on from that. Look at all these pumpkins. Oh, yes. Glorious pumpkins. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, and by the ranch I mean pumpkins, we still haven't built this because we don't have metal blocks. And these guys don't have anything going here. So I'm going to have a path there, but I'm not going to need a path here. I can go ahead. Oh, also, the suspension bridges. The suspension bridges need... Alright, the bridge is cancelled. The bridge is cancelled. It's going to be replaced with just stairs. Sorry, not actually that sorry. It's, you know, it's just the way it goes. I'm reminded of a meme that has a an inappropriate language connotation for my videos, but it's still very very apt. Come on, click, please. Thank you. Okay. Well, what I can go ahead and do, since we, you know, aren't growing anything here, demolish that, and the doorway for the large farmhouse is where I should have confirmed that. That's where. So this over can go away, which is going to have this guy disconnected, but we're gonna figure that out. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. That can always be rebuilt somewhere. I want to try to focus on laying out pumpkins before we worry about where the water's gonna go. So that will go there, that'll go there, that'll go there, and oh, okay. So new plan. Start here, here, and here. Remember, this is going this way like so. I'm just putting in the corners so I know where I can and cannot go. So that will go there. There will be a building here, so that's fine. You know, honestly, we probably can just leave this path here, but we're gonna see what we can get away with. If I can move this up here, I put that there and I put that there, that's going to take away my my mess with that. But if I have this go, see, that would have to go here to here. If this is gonna still be fine pumpkin wise, then, well, then it's gonna be fine. But if that goes there, this would go here, that would go here. It's not, obviously not gonna let me place that, but I'm gonna have to move one block left or one block right for the irrigation lodge. So we're gonna get rid of it. Of course, obviously that's gonna go away as well. So the irrigation lodge, again, we're using this because it repels contamination, even though this other one has a larger range. I can place it, okay, I have a pumpkin there. I can put this here. This, yes, this spot here, or I can move it one more over. I'm going to move it here. I think that's going to be the best outcome for min-maxing our pumpkin placement. Sentences uttered by the completely deranged. Yes. Oh man, this is it's going to throw off this space here. But yeah, you know what? It's probably going to be fine. That would go up that way. That would go up that way. That goes up that way. That goes up that way. Okay, hey. We might... Okay, well, that's not great, but... It's never going to be 100% perfect. I think we'll survive. If I keep going this way, you know what? Let's try to go up like this. You know what? That's... Well, this is more of the same stuff. But if I stagger my pumpkins here, here... No lag. Get out of here. Put that there. Put that there. That there. And then that's going to give me the opportunity to come back over. Oh, yeah. All right, all right, all right. All right, I see the vision, Pumpkin Man. That also sounds completely insane. So this will go here. I wonder if staggering it that way is actually the best way to do it. Well, actually, so far it's been coming up pretty good. Coming up pretty good. Now, if I turn around and go here, I guess that's the best possible outcome for this spot. That would go there. This goes here. Yeah, this is going to go there. You know, first of all, this has to be in the range of the thing, which I have not even confirmed is in the range of the thing. Let's check our range of the thing. It looks like it might be. I'm just gonna unplant that specific one. But that's gonna really help get our pumpkins up and running here. Of course, this is not gonna be completely protected from pollution. Don't know what causes me to end up talking like that, but that's annoying. This is looking fine. Pumpkin quantities are gonna be absolutely obnoxious in some short order of time. Oh good, the dirt has been unclogged. So hopefully these things can start producing again. Did I turn this back to... I did. Okay. That's good. Oh, man, I feel like simultaneously we've gotten so much done and also nothing done at the same time just because stuff that I've really been wanting to do has not been accomplished yet. Well, we'll survive. This whole area here, I guess... Probably should go ahead and just put the staircase in. Click. I pressed the button on my mouse like 10 seconds before that happened. That's completely insane. I guess... Okay, no, there's still some that can get removed. Let them do what they gotta do there. I don't really want to be messing with too much of this. Man, just the lack of metal is just absolutely kneecapping our ability to use these mega platforms over here. Well, because I know they're all going over here, and it's an important thing for us to have that, but man, it is strangling our production of so much other stuff. Meanwhile, the amount of food we're making just continues to climb to completely absurd heights. Kind of worried about sunflower seed production. But maybe it's just that we can actually make some of this food now and it turns into a non-issue later. Not entirely sure. Yeah, but I think everything is honestly going pretty well. We got planks, we got logs. We're making so many logs that we probably can turn, as soon as this one's finished, probably turn this one into planks again. Yeah, because we have 1,000 logs now. Alright, planks, 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 planks. I have, for storage purposes, really only 672 planks. Well, you know what I'm going to say about that is that I can just put in another one of these gigantuan storage piles. The only problem with that is that it requires... Well, I got planks. What do I have stored over here? Oh, that's where my giant chestnut storage was. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'll just... Oh, this lag is ridiculous. I'm just gonna put plank storage up here, because we're gonna have to have a lot of planks. And we're gonna want to have a lot of capacity for planks, because we have so many of these giant sequoias we're not even doing anything with. They're just here, waiting to be cut down. So, that has been massively improved. The grapes are still growing. How long? Okay, they're like halfway through. I don't know if we're going to see that this episode or not. especially because it takes 5 days to get the actual grapes. But we've added like another, what, 30% area-wise for grape growing, so maybe that's going to be the secret sauce to get us up to where we want to be. I don't know. You tell me. Metal fasteners stuff. I guess I don't have enough storage for that, or I'm not using enough of those. Metal just is going to be a problem. It's just going to be a problem. There's no way around it. This is still making the glass panes, which I need to finish the gargantuan storage. So that's probably fine. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have more of these steel saw blades. What's this one making? Scrap metal. Okay. And it can't do it because it doesn't have enough coal, so I'm well, that needs more coal. Well, I need to have these being made anyway. Scrap metal can be made in other ways, and it can be harvested. Kind of, to a limited extent, with what we have access to right now. Processor-wise, I'm pretty much out. You know what I didn't check? Okay, good. We have... Wait. I still don't have my other Masters of Metallurgy? Or did that get, put in? Oh, it did. Okay, good. Because then I can turn my ENS back over to making processors. Yeah, okay. That might solve some of our problems with, yeah, quartz and scrap metal and paper, oddly. Yeah, okay. But that was, the reason I was making more silicon metal ingots was because we have to have those for processors. But we can go ahead and make a couple, and then once I have enough of these steel saw blades, so I feel like I'm not going to be losing all that, we can turn that back on. Okay, what else? What else can I possibly get to in this episode without holding you guys hostage for no reason? I mean, I want to put that second abyss in, but we can't get over there. Cannot get over there without causing just massive beaver suffering, so gotta figure out a way to do it. Open to ideas, as always. Power generation-wise, it's basically just the nuclear plant, it looks like, and the solar, but that doesn't quite seem like enough. Is this running? It is. Okay, because it puts out 6,000. Everything else is quite literally completely done. These are still going down because, well, that's what they're going to do. But thankfully, we have these enormously super heavy gravity batteries to lean back on. So that's exciting stuff. Trading for foreign food is still a thing. We don't have really any of it stored. I think it's just a very slow process. Okay, they're still, I guess, working on that. Don't tell me that's completely out of range for that one specific thing. Yeah. Another news, water is wet. Oh, that's a lumberjack flag that can't get to anywhere? Okay, well then he can go away. This is just, there's so much micromanagement here that this is, I really should not be spending my time doing it. Instead, focus on, you know, getting access to remove this one tree so I can put in... Oh, man, come on. So much going on. This lumberjack, actually, I can grab this one tree with that one lumberjack, and I can unmark all of this for cutting. I don't know if that's actually going to help FPS woes at all, but there's no more trees left to cut, so no more need to have the cut. That's definitely correct English. Alrighty, yeah, looking a whole lot better over here. Yeah, we'll leave them to that. 77 cycles now. Wow. Might be the longest I've ever played a single game of Timberborn. Definitely the longest series we've ever done. I'm pretty sure even the longest of the Ostrov series hasn't gotten to episode 58. And those episodes are not an hour and a half, ever. Well, maybe once or twice, but most of those are like 45 minutes or something. So, I think we're probably at a pretty good stopping point for today. I know you guys tend to like the longer episodes in these series, but There's not too much more we can do without just kind of waiting for stuff to equalize, get more metal made up, and that regrettably is going to take some time. So let's, before we head out, take a look at our factories here, make sure those are set. I've got 3 making metal blocks. Okay, well that's probably about as much as I can expect. And they are down horrendous on coal here. How much are we, Oh, it's this dirt, man. It's already full? The dirt's already full. Sheesh. Alright. So now I've got to, I gotta see, is there a way I can dump dirt somewhere and have it actually mean something? Well, I get, you know what? I could start solving my own problems the easy way. Solve your problems the easy way by just building dirt. Yeah, put that terrain block right there, and then I'll just build a bridge across on the terrain block. Why not? Why not? So, if you left a suggestion in the comments already, apologies, because I'm going to do this anyway, but you feel free to, leave it there. Because maybe I'm going to want to put another crossing somewhere else. But this, friends, this is what Waterbeavers was made for. This kind of just nonsense of, well, I don't know how I'm going to get across. Yeah, just build a bridge on top of more land. Why not? Why not make it happen? Okay. So, oh, wow. Yeah, remember when I said it was going to end the episode? And then that definitely didn't happen? Well, we will soon. I just have to, get this started, because if I don't remember, then it's never going to happen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now we're cooking. And I don't have a very easy, or no, I have no path at all for getting around this mess here. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is just mark trees for demolishment, if that's even a real word. Put in a staircase. And then hopefully just not forget that I had this set up. So that also, I know I keep making excuses here. That gives me the ability to build some additional. No, please don't tell me this is just a regular village job. Clay pit. I can pan for gold. Okay, of course that wasn't going to work, but eventually when we get rid of this hauler tower, I'm going to want to have space for beavers to pan for gold. Yeah, just pop these guys in. Easy money. Just get rid of your dirt. Because I had these making so much clay, I forgot that, you can pan for gold, and you're going to need it. So, that's exciting. Did I use all of my silicon metal ingots, or are they just in the ENS? I guess I've used all my silicon metal ingots. Alright, well, I said I was going to have... Okay, so that's a glass. I've got 44. I do need to get to 48. Did they build this one on the top already for the planks? Yes, they did. Okay, so if I stop this at 48, then I'll have enough to build another one in a little bit of time. Then I could just set this guy back to the silicon metal ingots. Oh, it's already at 48. Okay, well now it's at 50. So coal, here we go again. Coal, methane, and quartz. As soon as the dirt goes away, which I guess it's no longer going to be a problem, hopefully, then that can get underway. They already built this. Wow. They were really, really just itching to get rid of that dirt. So, is there going to be anywhere I can... Oh, you know what? You know what's going to be so stupid? Is when I just completely fill this with dirt. And it actually isn't going to suck. Can I even, fit anything over here? Is it even worth doing that? Probably not, if we're going to be perfectly honest with each other. But this right here might actually be a smart place to dump a little bit of dirt, because that's going to allow me to plant one more pumpkin. One more thing of pumpkins. I just got to get rid of this dirt, man. Okay. Day 3, cycle 77. We are working. Well, we're doing something. So this genuinely is going to have to be where we end today's episode. Because, look at this. We got these all up and running. Let's go. We've got silicon metal ingots. We've got glass panes. And we've got steel saw blades being made in perpetuity. That is exciting. And all we have to do now is wait for stuff to catch up and continue optimizing stuff. But we really did make a massive amount of progress today, folks. I really appreciate you sticking with me through all this nonsense. This was never set to make chestnut beer. Oops. I was thinking to myself, wow, I don't see any chestnut beer. That's because I didn't set it. I'm sure some of you have noticed, and maybe one of you's left a comment saying, hey, you didn't have it make chestnut beer. Well, now I did, so I caught it. I appreciate you guys looking out for me. I really do. And I appreciate you watching these. This is such a fun mod. I say it every single time, but, like, honestly, we'd not be in episode 58 if this was not an absolute blast. It's so cool seeing all the different stuff that's been added to this. Even though it takes a long time to get stuff done, I still believe that this is the best possible way we could be using our time 3 days a week to, well, at least in terms of putting out video stuff. This is great. We got at least another 10-15 episodes left of this, I'm pretty sure. But I really am looking forward to update 6 with Waterbeavers. There's gonna be some wild stuff. I've gotten a little bit of a glimpse of some changes that are coming to the thing. Like it's gonna be chaos, but it's gonna be fun, and I'm looking forward to having you back for that just as soon as we get there. And I'll probably maybe sometime next month, depending on when it gets quote unquote finished, and when this series is finished. But yes, can't do these videos without your support, Beard Boosters. You already know, directly subsidizing the videos on the channel, so we don't have to go and chase clickbait algorithm trends or sell stupid nonsense nobody needs. We just play games. We have a good time doing it. And I know there's a lot of you that watch with your family, and so it's important to me that that becomes and maintains accessibility for everybody. So I'm glad to do this. Thankful for you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Whatever it is you're doing, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.